You're watching the Sports Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about what happened last night in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Golden State was able to come back from 19 points down at one pointer to take a 2-0 series lead. Final score was like 126 to 117. Now, one thing that stood out to me was that Dallas Mavericks lived by the three, and then they ended up dying by the three. That's the one thing that stood out to me more than anything else. When you live by the knife, you die by the sword. And it was falling in that first half. I mean, some of them shots, man, especially Reggie Bullock and Luka Doncic, man, I was like, golly, man, these guys are lethal. I'm like, if they making shots like that throughout the whole game, then there's no way Golden State can come back, even though Golden State had some sharpshooters on their own, but they cooled off. And to me, the game changed in the third quarter. I say around the 7-minute mark in the third quarter. That's when the momentum shifted from Dallas to Golden State. And Golden State ended up taking the lead in the fourth quarter. Like as soon as the fourth quarter began, Golden State took the lead, and they just and Dallas were able to tie it at one point, but they can never get the lead back. So as a result of that, Golden State's up 2-0. Now, another thing that happened in that game was Kevon Looney. Now, Kevon Looney had a double-double last night. And now there's one weakness on Dallas is the front court. Dwight Powell, garbage. Maxi Kleber, garbage. This dude had 3 points and a rebound in 33 minutes last night. I mean, just totally unacceptable, man. Totally unacceptable. Now, for the Dallas Mavericks, to give you some context on the notion that they died by the sword, last night they were 2 of 13 from the three in the third quarter, compared to 14 to 18 in the first half. It's like they forgot that there's other ways to score the basketball. And to the credit of Stephen Curry, he didn't forget there was other ways to score the basketball than just chuck it up from 3 all game long. And it goes back to what I always say about today's game. It is like they're so enamored with analytics that, to me, analytics has corrupted a lot of this individual's basketball IQ. Because yes, I mean, it don't take a brain surgeon to realize that 3 points is worth more than 2 points. Hell. But the 3-point shot is unless you like one of these really good 3-point shooters out here, they're not making them as regular as a 2. It's easier to get a 2 than it is to shoot a 3, especially with you got guys here shooting it from the logo, guys shooting it from 30 feet and all that. That's a low percentage shot. Yeah, it's going to go in, but what happens when it doesn't? You can't just be relying on the three-point shot. You got to take the ball to the cup. You got to draw a foul. Draymond Green already had a technical foul. You should have poked the bear a little bit more and got him ejected and whatnot, because you know Draymond Green don't know how to keep his mouth shut. And then there was some stretches of the game where they were playing undisciplined basketball. You had Reggie Bullock go commit an offensive foul. Then on the other end, he commits another foul by bowling into Draymond Green, knocking him on the court. And that almost sparked the brouhaha or some fisticuffs. So when you had that dynamic going on, it's like, come on, man. You got the lead. You got the game. You got the crowd out of it. Don't bring the crowd back in it by doing dumb shit, playing undisciplined basketball, settling for three-point shots. So another dynamic that was in the game last night, as I talked about, you had Curry attacking the rim, Jordan Poole taking his man off the dribble. So Stephen Curry and Jordan Poole combined for 55 points last night. Now, whatever they did to the Phoenix Suns clearly did not resonate and has not translated to the Golden State series. Because you can't play that kind of a lockdown defense on Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Now, to that, I think Devin Booker and Chris Paul were bailing them out with, ill-advised jump shots and things of that nature. But you got Jordan Poole and Stephen Curry taking you off the dribble. And I remember there were some people out there that were saying, well, if you take away the three-point shots from Stephen Curry, what does he have? I'm like, he has a lot of other things in his arsenal. Just because you can't do something, don't do something, doesn't mean you can't do something. This dude was taking people off the dribble. People forget Stephen Curry got handles. People forget Stephen Curry can take you to the cup. People forget Stephen Curry know how to shield his body to where shot blockers can't get it. He know how to position himself adjacent to the rim so a shot blocker don't have access to be able to throw his ball in the second row. What's up, GMJ? Ted Cox, salute to y'all. If Dallas can't contain Stephen Curry and Jordan Poole, and if they let Klay Thompson go off, this could be a relatively short series from them. Now, I alluded to in many videos how the Dallas Mavericks are a very tough team to play in Dallas. But you can't just rely on home cooking. You got to play smart, disciplined basketball. This is not the time for players to be doing all kinds of extra stuff. How do you let Kevon Looney score 21 points and 12 rebounds on you? Now, Kevon Looney been in and out of rotation all year long. What's up, Gideon? And you let him go off. Kevon Looney. You let Kevon Looney go off on you. That's just inexcusable. But the fact of the matter is, if Dallas don't find a way to limit Stephen Curry, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, With Draymond Green's already limited in his offensive game. And you got Kevon Looney going out there getting rebounds and blocking shots and getting putbacks and all that. This could be a clean sweep. Now, Luka is back to being Luka. Jalen Brunson had a good game last night. Jalen Brunson had 31 points. But where the hell was Spencer Dinwiddie at? Where was Dinwiddie at? Where was Dorian Finney-Smith? You know, Dorian Finney-Smith, he plays a lot of minutes, but a lot of that has to do with his defense. But you mean to tell me Dorian Finney-Smith couldn't go out there and get you some points? To me, that third quarter is what did in the Dallas Mavericks. That third quarter is what did in the Dallas Mavericks. You can't sit up there and just settle for threes. You can't. So they got to find a way to, because look, as much adjustments as Jason Kidd has been making, at the end of the day, it comes down to the players on the court executing. It comes down to the players on the court having common sense. If your shot's not falling, don't keep trying to shoot the ball. Take it to the rack. Draw a foul. Go to the free throw line. The game of basketball is not that difficult, and yet we let analytics and all this other stuff get in the way, and players do dumb shit. If you're 14 to 18 from the three and you're going into halftime, you should have a understanding that the law of regression was going to come in, and that those shots that you were making in the first half won't necessarily fall in the second half. But this is Golden State held serve at home. Dallas could have gotten away, could have stolen the game had they did a better job of limiting Kevon Looney and not take bad shots in the third quarter. I mean, you piss away a 19-point lead because you took bad shots. That was the name of the game. But there's two things to me that stood out in that game, amongst other things, was that Dallas was taking bad shots and they let Kevon Looney go off. What you got, Gideon?
Salute, LB. I agree. The problem with Dallas into why they lost last night, they allowed the middle open too much. Too many baseline cuts, straight line cuts, bounce passes. Their rebounding was atrocious in the second half. And like I said before, they took too many threes in the second half. They took 13 threes in the third quarter. And most of those threes, yeah, they were wide open, but I felt that they could have just put the ball on the floor and get the Warriors in foul trouble, or at least, take some mid-range shots. That's why they're not the same for the Mavericks, though. And this is just me personally. Other than Luka and Bullock, I felt the rest of the Mavericks were content of going to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not seeing the same hunger by the Mavs, other than Luka and Bullock, that I saw in the previous series against Phoenix, though, and Utah, etc. So if the Mavs want to get back in the series, they got to force turnovers. They got to get in the transition, and they got to get some easy baskets. You gave up 62 points in the paint, only scored 30. That's unacceptable. And the problem with the Mavericks, man, Jason Kidd did not manage the game well. He didn't call timeouts when you see that the momentum was going away. I didn't like the time management of Dallas, and Golden State did a good job being physical. Did a good job, forced Luka to tough contested shots. The Warriors bench was phenomenal. Otto Porter, Jordan Poole, Moody at times, and were exceptional. And even Kevon Looney was the man, the hour getting offensive rebounds. Especially, I love how he was cutting to the rack at will. Even Stephen Clay came alive in the fourth quarter. And even Andrew Wiggins has been big too. He didn't shoot great in game 2. He wasn't, but if you watch the game, I love his energy, moving around, moving without the ball, hitting the three. So the Warriors are gonna be a tough out. And I don't think it's over for the Mavs, because again, Dallas is 5-1 at home at the American Airlines Center at Dallas. But I will say this: if they don't make adjustments now, it's gonna be a quick series.
Yep. I know one thing, Dallas got to do a better job rebounding the basketball. I mean, Maxi Kleber playing 33 minutes, only scoring 3 points on the rebound. I mean, that's just totally unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Boban? Couldn't play Boban for a couple minutes?
I would try Boban, yeah.
I mean, you got that guy rotting away on the bench. They don't have. Look, Golden State play that small ball. You slow the game down and bring him in. They have nobody that can stop him down low. What are they gonna do? They're gonna hack away. Draymond Green had 3 fouls in the first quarter, trying to guard him. You got a big 7-foot guy that can score and can rebound, and you don't use him. Why? You could play him for stretches. You ain't gotta play him. You ain't gotta play him 30 minutes. You can play him like 2-3 minute stretches in the game, just by slowing the game down. Especially when you got a lead, a 19-point lead.
Right.
But what do I know, right? What do I know? But anyway. Right. So what adjustments do you see need to be made in game 3?
If I were
Dallas tomorrow night.
If I were Dallas, like you said, play Boban more. I understand Curry can feast on him, but like you said, you need rebounding, play Boban more. I will limit Maxi Kleber's minutes, limit his minutes. Maybe play Ntilikina more for defense. I know Frank was terrible offensively. He missed too many corner threes, but at least Ntilikina can at least give you some good perimeter defense, though. So I'll give Frank more minutes. And what about this move? Can you try Trey Burke if you're Dallas, though? Because he can give you buckets a little bit. He give Trey Burke some burn and see what he does tomorrow. So my keys for Dallas: play Boban more, give Frank more minutes, give Trey Burke more minutes, limit Bertans, limit Kleber, and if you're the Mavericks, you gotta force turnovers. Be physical. Don't shoot. I know the Mavs love shooting the long ball, but don't yak up too many threes. Get to the rack, though. Because remember, when they were up by 19, we watched the game. They were doing a good job with their slicing to the rack, being physical, doing a good job exploiting mismatches in the first half. But in the second half, they shot too many threes. So my keys for the Mavs for game 3: play Boban more, Frank more, give Trey Burke some minutes. And and limit Kleber, limit Bertans.
Yep. And then on Golden State side, what do you see for Golden State? Because you can't go in with the same game plan as the last one. So, what do you think they need to do defensively to try to limit Luka?
Double Luka, double him. Get quick trap, quick double. Get the ball out of his hands. Get the ball out of Luka's hands. Don't make the other guys be physical with Luka Doncic. Trap on Luka. That's a defensive plan. And also, what the Warriors have to do, just close out on the shooters. They did a much better job in the second half doing that after they were terrible in the first half doing that. And my adjustment for the Warriors, do what you did in the fourth quarter. Give Looney a lot of minutes. Give Moses Moody a lot of minutes because I love his energy. Otto Porter, Jordan Poole, a lot of minutes for him to create his own shot. And that's my thing there. That's my thing there. If you Steve Kerr, just utilize your minutes well. If they can do that, they'll be fine.
I agree. Definitely I definitely agree with the notion that you get the ball out of Luka's hand, you got to double him, and like I wouldn't wait to get past half court to double him.
Mm-hmm.
I would, man. Anytime he touches that ball, man, you trap his ass. Anytime, I mean, the second he touched that ball, you trap his ass. You got to be quick about it, and people got to rotate and they got to communicate
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want because what you don't want to have happen, you trapping him, and then they finding wide open guys uncontested for wide open threes and all that. That's what
Right.
you don't want. So, but that goes to you got to guard the three. You have to guys have to rotate. You have to communicate, and then guys, because look, Reggie Bullock is a catch and shoot guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you want Reggie Bullock to put the ball on the floor.
Right.
Right? You want him
Right.
to put. You want Reggie Bullock to put the ball on the floor. Maxi Kleber, another guy that's a catch and shoot guy. You want him to put the ball on the floor, and if you've done that and you have them off their rhythm and and they force a bad shot, you've done your job. Now, if it goes in, it goes in. But what you don't want is them catching, setting, and then shooting the ball. That's what you
Mm-hmm.
don't want. D-Dog, what's up? What's up,
What's
bro?
up? What's up?
Slowly, dog.
Man, salute to y'all, man. I think that this shows what the difference between experience in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, and people who just starting this is when it's a level to this. Because I've seen that the Mavericks lost their confidence in this series already, so the momentum can change. If they can get one game in it, they might can have a little confidence to see if they can beat this team. I think mentally, man, they almost out of it. I'm not gonna say it definitely, but Luka Jokic and his other players got to step up. They got to believe that they are champions. So that's the only way they'll make this a series because they have the talent to do it. I think they got decent matchups, but yeah, the Dallas is. If they looking in their eyes, they mean Golden State sort of smelling blood right now, and the Dallas looking like a scared sheep right there.
Well, I don't think they're playing scared or whatever like that, but they definitely needed to stop with the reckless shooting.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you got to use your size, man. Get inside, get some
That's my
fouls,
point.
drive in the lane, get some fouls.
That's
It's
what we
like
say. That's what we say. We not. That's what we saying, D-Dog. We saying the same thing you saying.
Mm-hmm. Use the mid
yeah, I
range.
mean,
They can hit mid range too.
but your mind is out of it, man. When you feel like you've been defeated, man, you ain't thinking straight. Like that's in any sport. It's like, come on, they got to believe. They can get two. If they can get two in Dallas or whatever, it's back. They
Well,
back.
let me address this question real quick. So JMJ 2121 asked, do they need to give Bullock the ball a little more? He had 21 points. So the answer to that is no, because his value is tied to scoring. He really don't do nothing else. So if he don't score the basketball, he's practically worthless.
I mean, he is a good defender though.
I mean, yeah, he's decent defender and all that. I mean, he ain't not. I mean, his defense ain't nothing to write home about. But I mean,
But they're
let's
gonna have
tell
to
the
work
truth.
together on defense.
Reggie Bullock's value is tied to scoring. That's it.
Their wingspan got to go. They need to shut down Jordan Poole. Do you think they're gonna have to let just Curry just beat them and stop everybody else? I'm gonna try it that way.
The problem with that is they got other guys that can beat you. Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jordan Poole come off the bench and beat you.
Otto Porter sometimes.
Shoot. Well, I try to do
Yeah,
that.
Tim
Let him.
Hardaway would be a big help. Only problem is he's out for the season. So
Yeah, they don't have nobody that can lead them when they have this. They need a veteran on Dallas who's been in the playoffs for a
but they
long
got
time.
Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie, a
And
veteran. They acquired him in the trade with the Washington Wizards. That's my question: was where the devil was he at last night?
Trying to draw fouls. Dinwiddie was not trying to score. The dude was trying to draw for fouls, man. Bro, try to score the hoop, man.
the boys shooting off half court. They just was whipping that
Jalen
ball around the
Brunson
court.
showed up.
Here's what I believe about that. He did give you 31, but I felt Jalen Brunson was more impactful in the first half. In the
Right.
first half, I felt
He
he
was
was more
impactful in the
impactful.
first half.
Yeah. In the second half, I felt that he was out of it in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of his points. He had 19 points in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they can, hey, they can find a way. They can at least get at least 2 games. It might go 6.
It might even go 7. You never know. This could be a home type series. Who knows?
Now, I just don't see their body language. What I'm trying to say, it's not. They look like they ain't mentally prepared to go 7.
I mean, we're going to find out because, again, the Warriors, you got to give the Warriors credit, but at the same time, this is a different roster, though. I mean, personally, this is a different Warriors roster, though. And the Warriors, look, they're great at home, but on the road in the playoffs, they are up and down. So if you're the Mavericks, my keys for them for game 3, jump on Golden State early, get it, slow the game down a little bit, swarm the perimeter, force turnovers, you know, do more mid-range shots, get to the line. Don't be in a 3-point contest with the Warriors. And also, they got to find a way to clog that middle. They got to find a way, man.
Hey, I know the Mavericks. The Mavericks need a Patrick Beverly type dude, man. I think they'll be in the finals.
Pat Bev would be nice. And also, they need a center like a Mitchell Robinson or a Rudy Gobert that can protect the rim.
Yeah.
It definitely needs somebody that's going to rim protect and rebound all that. Because Kevon Looney getting a double last night, man. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one.
He looked like Kevon Olajuwon. He looked like Kevon Olajuwon out there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they draw double T's and try to force a steal turnover.
Mm-hmm.
They take a chance, But hey, you can't do that. These guys some deadly shooters. You leave them open.
Right.
I'm telling you, Dallas. If you're gonna have that guy to elevate Dallas to the next level, man, it's gonna be over soon.
My thing here, and he made some good points. Other than Luka and Bullock, I felt the rest of the Mavericks are satisfied going to the Western Conference Finals. Look, even if the Mavs lose this series, it's not a failure. But at the same time, right, you might not get back here in the future. So if you're the rest of the Mavs, do you want it or not? You know what I mean? I felt that other than Luka and Bullock, they're not hungry to get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, see, it's like, come on.
Yep.
What I would do is try to play man on 3-2 zone and then work the inside and let John play the perimeter. Get Draymond Green in foul trouble. Drive in more. Of course they can kick it out and try to like y'all said, slow the game down at a certain pace. But they need excellent point guard play.
Would you want to play zone? Because the Warriors are one of the best teams to shooting the ball. Would you want to play zone
No, I
against a team that
said
can shoot?
3-2 zone. Like I
Yeah,
have.
I understand that, but you want to play any type of zone on the Warriors, though?
I wouldn't play
Yeah.
no zone on the Warriors.
I'll play man to man. If Golden State
Well,
was
you
not
gotta
a
have some
team to be,
pressure though.
but
If you like have pressure defense, somebody's gonna be cut. Somebody's gonna be the ball gonna be going around so fast. It's, you
but
know.
here's the thing: the Warriors' bread and butter is the fast pace and catches you three more at the wing, and
Not only that,
sometimes, yeah,
their ball movement will get you out of that zone.
ball
They really
movement and
move the
player movement, yeah.
basketball.
And Nate Shepard had a good point. Why not do a full court press if you're Dallas, though? Like pressure the ball handler, do that.
But see, the Golden State's too quick for that. That's where the ball movement come in. You're not gonna. They're gonna
Yeah,
pass the ball
if you
around.
got a good team like Golden State that can move the basketball, they'll defeat that full court press all day long.
Right.
That's what I'm
It takes
trying to say.
advantage. Full court press takes advantage of people who likes to dribble the ball. That way you can trap and they get them picking up the dribble in the wrong spot. You can trap them and then force turnover that way. But if a team that just moves the basketball, doesn't put the ball on the ground, then that full court press is pretty much useless. You get
True.
beat. That's how a team get transition buckets off that full court press if you don't do it right.
Yeah.
Or if you run to a good team that passes the ball.
True.
Yeah, so you might get some possessions where you might get a turtle, but all game, no. Most of the game, no. It's like Steph Curry's too small of a point guard, and he's a great ball handler.
True.
Well,
But Nate
they got to
Shepard,
find the person they need to double team to get them in trouble. Those who get the ball.
But if you do double team, who you double if you're the Mavericks? Will you double Jordan Poole or Andrew Wiggins? If they get the ball, you get what I'm saying? If you're not going to double stat, well, I mean, they could sometimes,
I'm
but
gonna try to make them get some different looks. Try to disguise, then trap them a couple of times, and
right.
then back off. You can't because you do the same thing. You know he's gonna read it. It's gonna be a real chess match. You know you're gonna read it. He's gonna find what y'all doing, and then he's gonna counter that. So it's really hard to defend the Golden State Warriors.
It really is hard to defend them. But the reason why Memphis had a chance to knock them off in the second round is because Memphis was also playing quick themselves, and also Memphis was doing a good job.
Yeah, see, they matched them in quickness,
and also
and
the
they
Grizzlies,
had decent inside play.
right? And Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams. The thing that killed the Grizzlies again. I don't want to switch the topic because we're talking about the match, but what helped Golden State, I should say, in that second round, that the Warriors killed them in the paint though, and on the glass. So if the Mavs would have any chance to make the series competitive and have a shot to pull an upset, one, hit your open threes. Two, drive in the middle. Three, this is just me, play man-and-man defense. You don't want to play zone against this team. Also, get Steph, Clay, and Dre in foul trouble, especially Draymond. Get them in foul trouble.
You definitely can't give them no rhythm.
Excuse me?
They got to play physical, knock them off their rhythm, knock them off their chemistry. That's
and use the home court as your advantage too. You're at home. Use the crowd as your advantage.
Hey, people like Stephen and Clay, man, they can play in anywhere. They gonna shoot and they gonna quiet the crowd because they shoot. In some players, it don't matter where you playing. You gotta get physical.
And they got closed out on shooters. And they got closed out on drives. I thought the Mavericks left the baseline too much. They got closed out on drives too if you're the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, but see, they have to respect the shooting. See, Steph can come off a pick and shoot, or he can dribble. He can shoot off the dribble.
True.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he got handles and he can drive. He does a great shooter. He's a wizard with the ball, so He catch and shoot off the pick or drive. You don't know when he's gonna shoot, and then you got everybody else opening up.
Mm-hmm.
You got Poole, Thompson, you got Wiggins. He want to step up. He want to try to get a ring before he retires because he was an underachieving player.
Mm-hmm.
So
Iggy trying to get to 7 finals. I know Iggy hasn't played at all, hasn't played since the Nuggets series, but Iggy trying to get to 7 finals. Yeah.
So man, what you do? So I don't think that. I mean, the Mavericks guard play. Hey, if he's a scorer, he's not on the Steph Curry level scorer.
True.
You need to have somebody that can at least sort of keep up with him. Just enough. Everybody else has to play deep.
Right. But personally, for me, if I were Jason Kidd, you gotta give Trey Burke some minutes. Give Ntilikina some more minutes for defense. Give Boban, because you need size to keep Looney off the boards. And limit, Kleba, because Maxi Kleba was terrible out there, getting cooked on defense, taking some dumb shots. And Dinwiddie, look, you got traded from Washington to give him buckets with floaters and threes. Don't try to just draw fouls. Try to score the ball, man.
But I think he's doing that to slow them down a little bit. Get some free throws, and because he isn't he a decent free throw shooter?
No, he's a good free throw. I mean, he's a so-so free throw shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just can't go out there trying to shoot. Be in a shooting match with Clay and Steph Curry, man. You playing that game then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't do too much of that. I mean, if you feel a shot that's there, go take it. But eventually, man, you playing that game, you'll get going out there shooting half-court shots.
Right. But I want to ask you something. If the Mavericks, I'm just going to what if somehow they come back and win this series, which will be a more impressive finals run? This year's finals run for Dallas or 2011?
You know what, man? That's a good question. I might say this one because I never expected. About the Mavericks back then when they had J.J. Barea and Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, they were sort of the veterans. So when they got really got it together, people really wasn't feeling. They always thought the Mavericks as a team that choked, especially when they lost to Shaq and Wade's Miami Heat. That they had, matter of fact, I thought they might have would have won that championship first. Because they just got over the Spurs and they still was strong. Now when they played Miami, people still wasn't giving them the respect that they did. And they was on a mission because they had another chance to get in the finals, and they said, okay, we're gonna have to take this one. So some people still underestimated, but it still was like, okay, they could have won a long time ago. So it was still a potential that they had. They supposed to won a finals.
For me, 2011. Yes, I know this year's run will be surprising for the Mavericks, but I think 2011 to me will be more surprising because think about it. No one thought they'll sweep the Lakers out of the playoffs, the 2-time defending champions in the second round. Many people didn't think they'll beat OKC in the Western Conference Finals. And I remember in Game 4, they were down double digits late in the fourth quarter, come back to win on the road. In fact, they won twice in OKC and then against Miami. Nobody predict, unless you're a Mavs fan, nobody predict Dallas to knock off Miami. And
no, a lot of people would like Miami.
No one picked Dallas to beat Miami that year. No, everyone picked Miami that year. Because think about it. The Heat were heavily favorites to win the title going into that season. I remember the Heat won Game 1, and then in Game 2, the Mavericks were down 15 in the fourth quarter, came back. The Heat won Game 3, went up 2-1, and then the Mavs won the last 3 games on last 3 games overall. So yes, I know this year's Mavs team.
But the Whiskey was on fire, and they had
I understand that.
They had a little bit better chemistry to me.
I understand that. But before 2011, we were questioning Dirk. Before 2011, we were questioning Dirk. Like Dirk was an all-time great, but I'm saying before 2011, remember, he lost in the first round in 07 to Golden State. In 2006, they blew a 2-0 lead to Miami in the finals. 08, they lost to a young CP3 in New Orleans. 2009, they got smacked around by Denver in the second round. 2010,
Okay,
as a 2 seed,
that
they lost
was.
to San Antonio. Lost to
But
San Antonio.
even those underachieving years, you know, they had to go back and get that chemistry together, get a little couple of veteran leaders, and to me, see when LeBron went to Miami, they was basically going on super talent. That was it. They really didn't have the chemistry like Dallas did. That's why I think Dallas had a chance to beat Miami in the playoffs.
I mean, you did, but not everyone else did. You did, but not everyone else did because
Yeah, I mean, they had also had Udonis Haslam for Miami and all this. They had a little. It seemed like they was going by. They were growing game by game, trying to figure it out. It seemed like okay, they wasn't a team, but they was just going through the motions with their talent, and they was getting by. They had a little chemistry, but they wasn't together. In my opinion,
I
it's
mean,
like
yeah,
they
I would agree, I understand that, but I understand that part, and that is true. But remember, Jason Kidd was still aging at the time. Jason Terry was still aging at the time. Pedro Stojakovic was on his last legs. He retired after that season, so it wasn't like this is a mass team that was
but
fresh.
they had a mixture of old and young. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's what
understand that,
they
but
had
also
enough. They had enough veteran leadership. And Jason Kidd, he's a point guard genius. So he knew how to set the pace for the
Which,
games.
which I
When he
agree with
in
that, but you also had to consider that Karan Butler, who was the Mavericks, one of the top leading scorers on the team, he didn't even play in the playoffs because he had an appendix problem. So you had to consider that too. So that what makes
yeah. But like I said, veterans like that, you know, his mentality. They helped Dallas win a bunch of games. Even though he didn't make it to the finals, he still was on that team. It's like they had one mission, and they just knew what their goal was. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I get that, but personally for me, I think 2011 slightly for me will be more surprising because of the competition, beating the defending champion Lakers, especially destroying them in Game 4. Slowing down KD, Westbrook, and Harden in 2011. Dirk destroying LeBron in the 2011 finals. And that's the thing. This year's Mavs team, if somehow they were to overcome this deficit against the Warriors, let's say go to the finals and say somehow beat the Heat or the Celtics,
well, if
it
they
would
beat the
be
Golden State Warriors, which is a very veteran team that played as many finals these past half decade, and they still deep in the playoffs, and they still are competitive. I think that this will be more surprising.
I would have given the
Because
2011
cause, cause
slightly.
they're the underdog. See, to me, the 2011 one, some people thought, okay, this might be sort of evenly matched,
N-
because Billy Miami ain't proved himself yet.
No, I
See,
disagree with you
Golden
on
State
that.
already been winning championships. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but it's a whole different roster. Like I said, it's a whole different roster. So that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
but
not,
the but the main people still there. Clay Thompson,
yeah,
Steph
but
Curry,
Clay,
Draymond
yeah, but
Green.
Clay came off 2 years of injuries. Steph Curry, he's great, but Steph Curry's known to be injury prone sometimes in the playoffs, though. Also, Draymond Green, still a good player, but this wasn't Draymond of 2016. And remember, the Warriors weren't. I'm talking about this version, just this version, the 22
He
version
still
of the
do the
Warriors. They
same
were,
thing, man. He was never.
you,
He still do the little things. He just not. I mean, he's not like he slowed down like that. He
I'm
still
not
do the
saying
same
that, but
thing.
let's not pretend that this is the Warriors that won titles in years past, though. Remember, yes, it was Steph, Clay, and Dre, but remember, when the Warriors won titles in years past, you had Barbosa, Space, David Lee, Andrew Bogut, though, Harrison Barnes. It
But
wasn't
he
just
got replaced by Jordan Poole, these new guys, and
yeah, but you
Wiggins.
were questioning Jordan Poole going into the playoffs, though. We didn't know he was going to look in the playoffs, though, at the time. So same for Andrew Wiggins, though, and that's what I'm saying. Yes, the Mavs were underdogs this year. I'm not
But
saying they weren't, but so were 2011. Let's be honest, though.
but the main core is still
But yet again, you're not
effective
understanding the
now. You know what
facts.
I mean? The main core, they still got so much experience, and they
But
leading the team, and they leading the people from the
they're
bench.
not
And
understanding the facts, man. Again, Klay Thompson came off 2 years, Achilles injury, torn
but
ACL. Steph
he
Curry,
don't miss a beat once he's healthy.
Klay
It's
Thompson is
hard.
very,
It's hard to replace chemistry.
dude.
Like
Klay
I was
Thompson
like
been
the
up and down
Spurs
this whole
had
playoffs. What do you see?
the Spurs had Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan. Right? They changed. They got rid of Steven Jackson. They replaced him but the main core is still in.
But here's the
All they
thing:
do is
none of them
plug
had
in
long-term
all these
injuries
other
like
role
that. That's what
players,
I'm
and
saying,
that's
though.
why they had so many winning seasons.
But not all of them had long-term injuries. You were questioning if Klay Thompson was going to be the same. Steph Curry, he's great, but he's been injury prone here and there. Draymond Green, he's been injury prone this season. So again, I understand the Warriors are better than the Mavs, but it's not like this is a complete mismatch. The Mavs can
No,
beat
no,
this
no.
team.
I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. I think this year's Mavericks got so much to be up against. See that version of the Mavericks team with all them three superstars and stuff. They never. It was sort of more evenly matched. Did it? See,
No, I
it's a
disagree.
different. They didn't have. I'm gonna say that team, that Miami Heat team back in the day. They didn't have substantial
But some
experience
guys
yet
been to the
in the
finals. Some
finals,
guys been deep in the playoffs. LeBron been to the finals. Wade
but
been
not
to
with
the NBA.
Miami Heat at the time.
But they still went
They
to.
did
It
that
doesn't
team, that
matter though. They still
chemistry.
went deep in the playoffs.
I'm saying that it's not like they were in the playoffs the year before. You know what I'm saying?
What?
That version
We
of
were in the playoffs in
Miami,
2010.
I'm saying, but that version of Miami Heat, they wasn't. That was their first year. You know, everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, they gonna win the finals. They got this, they got that," but they haven't been proven yet.
But
The
same
Warriors
for
have
the
been
Mavs in
proven and
2011.
been,
Same for the
yeah,
Mavs in
but the
2011.
Warriors have been proven, and they've been here before. They know what to do.
Again, different rosters back then. This is a whole different team.
But
Other than,
the core is still there. They got too
but
much
doesn't matter
experience.
though. Klay Thompson was not
That
100%.
matters a lot. That matters a
Bro,
lot.
Klay Thompson wasn't 100% going to the
It
series. He didn't
doesn't
know he was going to
matter.
look. It does matter.
He
It
has enough
100%
years
matters.
for experience and
What does
stuff
that mean? So
that
Klay
means
Thompson,
that when you put them three together and they on fire, it is hard to beat, especially a young team like the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? They're not
okay, but you don't
experienced
seem
yet.
to understand the facts that I'm giving you.
I
Yeah,
understand the facts, but
but
you
here's the
gotta look
reality.
over the point. You gotta see that chemistry that the Warriors have is too much experience for the Dallas Mavericks.
Again, you talk about core experience, not the whole team. This isn't really about experience in this. It's really about who has executed better. Because again, it's a whole different Warriors
But you
roster.
know
Gordon,
why they executed better though? They
because they
executed
shared
better
the
because they
ball
still
better and
got
they were
that
better
same core.
defensively in the second half.
Right. But at the same time, you have the Mavericks team is just not on that level with their core, their group of players on the Warriors yet. They're not on that level yet. We all can agree with that, right?
No, that part I agree. I'll give you that. Yeah, I agree.
And that's a big factor when it's deep when you in this when you in this time in the playoffs, when you in the conference finals and the finals and stuff like that. That's when your the legacy comes out. When you got that core group of players that lead the rest of the team, you know.
Okay, your
It takes
LB.
it takes two or three players, take two or three players. If they're together, they really good, and they might plug in a couple of decent players.
But like I said, that part doesn't matter to me. That part doesn't really matter to me. Because here's the thing, though. You can believe what you want, but the facts right here are, and this may not matter to you, but this matters, period. Klay Thompson didn't, just hear me out, didn't play for 2 years. You didn't know he was going to look when he comes back. Steph Curry's been injury prone in the playoffs, and Draymond Green was hot. But yeah, they have experience, and I get that. But you were questioning their health going in. Remember, Steph Curry almost fractured his ankle against Boston. You were questioning if he was going to be 100%. Klay Thompson missed 2 years. So this whole experience thing, I don't think it's really experience here. I think it's really more who's executing more. That's who's executing more. And that's what I'm saying. Again, I know the Warriors are tough. I'm not saying they aren't. But it's not like Dallas can't beat this team. If they just
yeah.
Dallas
Oh,
can
I
very
agree with
beat
that.
the team.
I agree
But
with that. It's possible.
2011 is different though. Yes, the Heat. Yes, the Heat may not been together, but remember, Wade been to a finals in 06. Eric Spoelstra been to a finals. LeBron been to a finals in 07. And even then, the Mavericks were not proven in 2011 before that year. They weren't proven. Jason Kidd was great, but Jason Kidd hadn't won yet. Dirk Nowitzki was known as a choke artist before 2011. Same thing with Jason Terry.
But you can't use Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd led the team to two
No,
finals
Jason Kidd was
with
great.
average,
I'm not
and
saying
he
he
was a
was.
great point guard.
He win at the
And
time
you,
before
but you
2011.
get that veteran point guard like that, a future Hall of
But
Famer
he was
that
old.
knows what he's doing. Yeah, of course they can beat a superstar team like Dwayne Wade, LeBron
No,
James.
I disagree. Yeah, but you didn't pick Dallas to win that series before 2011. No, you did not, man. Be honest. No, you did not.
I didn't think so. I didn't think
So what
Miami
we
was all that.
okay?
I
So what
think
we
they was
talking about?
going by. No, I think that it was going by superstar talent. And see, Dallas played teams like the Spurs and stuff to understand team chemistry. They have to really, if you play against them so many times a year, and you understand that you need a balanced team to beat a superstar laden team like Miami Heat, who really wasn't big on chemistry to about later. They was going back. They were mostly experimenting through the year, in my opinion, and they were seeing that they were still trying to find their groove totally.
But here's the thing: they were finding their groove going to the playoffs. They beat the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Bulls in 5. They were starting to find their groove going to the
It's
finals.
only because they really had a young, talented superstar laden team. I mean,
But they still found their groove, right?
but they wasn't. I think Dallas was more. It was better than Miami's.
I disagree. I felt the Heat were the better team. I just think that the Mavs were the more mentally tougher team.
How, man? They really didn't have. They didn't even want. They didn't know if they wanted LeBron to be the point guard or the small forward.
Hey man, we're not talking about
Sometimes.
none of that. We staying on subject. You
No,
bringing up
no. But if we
LeBron?
explain
No,
that,
I
what would
felt
be
the Heat
more
were better in
impressive? Now the
2011. I
question.
felt that.
He asked me the question that with if the 2011 Mavericks is more impressive than this year's Mavericks if they beat Golden State. That's what he was talking about. So.
But LB, what do you think personally, LB?
Mm. If the Mavs go to the finals and win it,
Yeah, this year's Mavs. Yeah,
I still got the 2011 Mavs, the more impressive team. The gauntlet they had to go through in the Western Conference.
mm-hmm.
So I would still hold the 2011 Mavs in that regard, but
Right. And some people even thought to lose to Portland in the first round. It's true. Some people thought going to the Blazers series they would lose to the Blazers. Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, Gerald Wallace, that squad, Marcus Camby. Some people thought they'll lose to Portland. Nobody thought they'll beat the Lakers. Not many people thought they'll beat the Thunder, and nobody thought they'll beat the Heat. In this playoff run, even with Luka being out, we still probably picked them to beat the Jazz. The only surprises is, okay, no one thought they'll beat the Suns, okay? And then this Warriors series, it's 50-50 though. So that's the thing. And like what LB says, the gauntlet they go through, they beat a 50-plus win Laker team, a 50-plus win Heat team that was favored to win a title, and OKC, who went to the NBA Finals the year later in 2012, were in the Western Conference Finals. And remember, OKC won game 2 on the road, and Dallas still had to win twice in Oklahoma City. No one thought that was going to happen, though. Nobody. And like I said, Caron Butler didn't play in the playoffs that year. Yes, they had veterans. I get that. But it was a different team. Get that. But Jason Kidd was aging. Jason Terry was getting old. Dirk Nowitzki was in his 30s, though. Pedro Stojakovic was out of his prime. He was in his last year.
But you had J.J. Barrera, who used his role, and he played above.
But you were questioning J.J. Barrera going to the playoffs. You were questioning him.
No, but he knew his role. That's what made it so successful. He put him in the right places at the right time. Like. Do you think? I'm gonna say, do you think Luka Doncic can win the finals?
Can he win the finals in the future? I mean, in the future, yeah. In the future, yes. If he gets the pieces around him, yes.
And
he has a chance, yes.
Yeah, I think he can't. No, somebody was. I know what they was. Some people are comparing him to the new Larry Bird and stuff. He didn't win the finals.
Nah, he ain't Bird. Hell no. Comparing to Bird, nah. That's disrespectful. I like Luca, but he ain't Larry
I
Bird.
think he need a little bit more of a killer instinct, and he'll remind me of Larry Bird. I don't see it quite yet. He can shoot and everything, but
Right.
Man, that's just the mainstream media sensationalizing this dynamic with Luka Doncic and all that. You know, anytime you get a shiny new toy, you want to compare it to what it was like yesteryear and all that, and make all these unscrupulous comparisons and cherry pick stats to put Larry Bird in the same breath as Luka Doncic. I'm like, come on, man, don't do that. That disrespectful. Just like last year when Devin Booker was, you know, doing his thing in the playoffs and all that, and then next thing you know, people want to compare him to Kobe Bryant. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I
Bird is
thought
just more
Booker was
fun.
balling, man. But so I think some people, man, are just hot at the right time, man, and they showing up. They feel like Phoenix Suns' confidence went up last year, but they just thought they could beat anybody.
Mhm.
And hey, here's what it is. Just like with Trey Young in Atlanta Hawks, he's trying to step up. He's trying to. People looking at him as one of the top elite players. Some people, the top elite players in the league now. So I mean, he had a great season last year too. So like,
Sure, he did. He did. He had an all-star. He was a monster in the playoffs. Trey Young. If it wasn't for I know we don't want to switch the topic, but if it wasn't for circumstances with the Hawks, you can argue it would have been in the NBA Finals last year. You can argue.
yeah, I mean, they were balling, man. I mean, hey,
Right, right, right. But
but see, they look for the superstars, the elite superstars, the household names to be doing what Trey Young did. See, he established himself as a superstar, I think, last year with that run. You know, because Trey Young did. What was his first team?
what? Wait, what? What'd you say?
What was his first team? Did
Well,
he used to
when?
play for the Lakers at one
No,
time?
Trey Young always played for the Hawks.
He always played. Okay. They got
Yeah.
somebody who used to play for the Lakers over there too. But anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, Trey Young. Yeah, he's the future of the NBA right now. He's one of the future.
Right. Do you think in the future we'll see Trey Young versus Luka Doncic in the NBA Finals in the future?
That could be that's possible. I'm saying the Dallas Mavericks got to
Mhm.
they got to find a way to change the momentum of this series.
Mhm. Game three is
Yeah.
the game. They lose game three is over. Game three is the game. They got to fix everything.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave it at that. So all right, so I gotta get up out of here. I gotta take care of some business. So
All right, we didn't talk about Miami and the Celtics. Who gonna win tonight?
I got Miami.
I did that in the last video.
Oh,
I did that in the video I did early this morning. But
okay.
real quick, give me your picks for last for the game tonight. You got Miami or Boston?
Miami.
I think Miami gonna they're gonna trap chase. They're gonna do the same thing they did in game one. Then they're gonna mix it up a bit. And which card got to get hot? Somebody got to get hot for Miami though.
Tyler Hero needs to get going. Tyler Hero needs to get going. And if I were Eric Spoelstra, give Duncan Robinson more minutes. If I were Eric Spoelstra, like give him some more catch and shoot opportunities. Give him some more minutes though. I have a weird feeling the Heat go up 2-1 because again the Celtics are a great home team, but if Miami could just slow the game down with Boston, get Boston off transition, and just swarm the perimeter, I think they might win tonight. So I've got the Heat tonight.
Wow. Oh well.
I actually got the Boston Celtics winning tonight. Um, you know, I got Miami winning the series in 7 games, but tonight I think um, the Boston Celtics will take a 2-1 series
Yeah,
lead.
boy.
I don't think Marcus Smart will have the game that he had in game 2. I think it will be a much closer game than it was in game. I mean, not game 2, game 3. I
Right.
think it'll be a much
Bookie
closer
Allen,
game.
PJ Tucker might play tonight though. Same thing, Kyle Lowry.
He is
Sorry.
going to play tonight. Word already got out saying that he is going to play. Him and Kyle Lowry will be back. So with Kyle Lowry back, that takes the sting off Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
You can, let me see. You can stick Tatum on, you can stick Bam on Tatum. You can stick PJ Tucker on Brown. You can or whatever like that. You probably could even interchange the two. But I think, to me, I think the reason why Boston win this game tonight because of Al Horford.
This could be his night. But don't sleep on Max Strus for the Heat. Max Strus, this could be a game for him or Oladipo.
Oladipo just ain't gonna see minutes like that, and on top of that, he's not going to see the usage with Jimmy Butler. If they share the court together, Oladipo's just not going to see the usage with Butler and Bam on the court together.
Good point.
He has to be on the court where either Butler's on the bench. I think it helps him a lot more if Butler's on the bench. More so Bam. But if both, for whatever reason, sit, then Oladipo, the ball's going to go through him. He's going to bring it up. He's going to generate the offense, all that stuff. But I got Boston a very close one, probably like 120 to 117 or something like that. But anywho, that's where we at. So both of y'all got Miami. I got Boston. Duncan Robinson. I think Duncan Robinson plays like Duncan Hines and sits on that bench and all that. But anyway, I'll let y'all have the last word, starting with D-Dog.
Well, I've gone to the bar and try to look at it, ate some fish, and Jimmy Butler got to do what he do. Rally this team and let them trap Boston. That'd be it. Trap Jason Tate, not Jason, him first, and that was Kyler Brown. So that's it.
All right, Gideon, you got the last word.
For me, thank you for inviting me. Salute D-Dog, salute LB. Hope you guys enjoying your weekend. Salute everyone in the chat. Mikey's, for both teams, for Miami, hit your open threes, protect the rim, stay out of foul trouble. For Boston, get in the transition, driving kick, Tatum and Brown to set the tone. For Dallas, Golden State, if you're Dallas, you're at home, feed off the home crowds, force turnovers. Luka, create some Luka magic. Dinwiddie, please step the hell up. And for Golden State, you're 2 wins away from your 6 finals in 8 years. Be the Warriors, try to end the series as quick as possible so you can have a whole lot of rest because the finals don't begin until June 2nd on ABC. So that's my thing there. Salute everyone. Thank you for inviting me on the chat. Thank you. Salute D-Dog. Salute LB. Salute everyone in the chat, and hope you guys enjoy your weekend and enjoy the games.
All right, Gideon. Appreciate you for coming on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for D-Dog for coming on, chiming in. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, donate to the channel. Here's the Cash App, Freeway95 US, or $ Freeway95 US, excuse me. And there's the PayPal. Last but not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Oh!